first off, I was surprised they kept the damn pick.
Yeah.
Because we had heard Diana Rossini all day and some other people saying, "Oh, they're going to move up. They're going to move up. They're going to move up." They ended up staying. They got the guy that I thought they were wanting. I didn't think they were going to go quarterback. I didn't think they were going to go receiver. I thought they needed pass rush. Jared Verse, obviously. What did you make of that selection?
Honestly, I thought it was close to perfect start for the first two picks because they needed an edge rusher and they needed an interior defensive lineman. And like I was telling Victor on House of Horns, like when you have big needs like that, you don't want to reach either. So you got to make sure when you try to fill a need is you get guys who have maybe first round talent or very high second round talent or very high upside. And to get Jared Verse, who I think maybe doesn't have the upside as Latu, but this guy he has a combination of speed and power, good size, doesn't have the injury concerns. So I think Jared Verse could be a quality player. And I kind of give the Rams the benefit of the doubt because of what they did last year with Kobe Turner and Byron Young. Now you add to that too, like they don't have a guy who could maybe be a superstar, but they have four very good defensive players on that front now. And the fourth one being Braden Fisk, Florida State. So two Seminoles, Jared Verse and Fisk. And he doesn't have to fill the Aaron Donald shoes alone. Nobody can, anyways. I don't know whoever will in the next 20 years. But to do it with Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Jared Verse, now you got four guys right there. So I like that. For a criticism, I wish they would have had a tackle sooner in the draft, but they actually addressed that in the back end or like this 6-7 round pick. So, I guess maybe Les Snead was watching House of Horns and I kept saying edge rusher, interior defensive lineman, and for sure get a tackle that you could maybe develop for the future. They waited a little too long for that. And Blake Corum, Fernando, I thought it was going to possibly – they kind of traded a little. Well, I was thinking maybe Brendan Rice to the Rams, Blake Corum to the Chargers. Obviously, there was a swap there. But I like Blake Corum, versatile. He kind of reminds me of Kyron Williams without the pass protection aspect. But, Kyron Williams can't stay healthy. Now you got two guys right there. So, overall, I think I would give it a solid B, maybe a B+. But if they would have got like maybe Byron Murphy the second or Latu, I would have maybe moved it up to an A. But I'm good with a B or B+. Is that a dog?
Yeah, jackasses. I
feel like somebody's screaming in the background. Maybe like the chancla's coming out.
Yeah, no, I don't know what they're doing, but they hear anybody pass by. But I see. This is my thing about Fisk, and I think that Rams fans need to be aware, like you said, that he is not going to be Aaron Donald. He's not Aaron Donald. Like, I think what they need to do though is kind of, in a sense, and like, don't take this the wrong way, but get Aaron Donald out of your mind now. Like, Aaron Donald's gone. He's retired. Now it's about, don't be like, well, Aaron Donald would have. Like, that's not good for this guy. So just be cognizant of who he is. Obviously, maybe he turns into something that can help the defense out. But I just putting those lofty expectations on him would not be smart. But I actually
let me ask you one question, Fernando, because you're talking about expectations. They gave up a second round pick in 2025 to move up 13 spots to get the guy. That's a little pressure on him to move up and lose a second round pick too. But yeah, just to add to that.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know, because I know somebody asked Lad, the guy at the McConkey, the guy that the Chargers got, like, oh, does that kind of make you feel better? Does it add pressure that they traded up? And I'm like, shouldn't add any pressure. I mean, I don't think it's that like serious, but I guess. But I mean, Les Snead and Sean McVay know what they're doing. They've drafted well the last few years. It's interesting to see how this first round pick goes, because I saw some of his stats, and I don't like to be a stat guy, but I thought his sacks weren't there. But
for Jared
you never know.
Huh? Jared, you're talking about
Jared Verse.
Yeah, he did have tackles for Lasso, but you're right, not as many sacks. And no one could touch what Latu did. Those are just some wild sack numbers, by the way.
Yeah, I was just thinking more of like, I thought maybe he'd be more like a Jermaine Johnson who came out of Florida State.
That's a good comparison,
that went to the Jets.
I think Verse is a little more like stronger, and I think Johnson is a little more athletic.
Yeah.
I see it.
Though. No, I didn't mean to compare. I just meant like I remember when he was Jermaine Johnson was at Florida State, like his stats were ridiculous. But Verse can grow into it. He has great coaching, obviously. I don't think Giff Smith is. I think he's defensive line again. I don't think he's outside linebackers like he was with the edge like
But
what he was with the
every team
Chargers.
defines
So
it differently too. Like I
that
hate
is
it, but
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, exactly.
I
By the
gotta
way,
double
when you
check
said,
that.
"Oh, like I had like maybe he listened to House of Horns," like I had said, you sound like somebody we know. But but yeah, no, I thought the Rams did a good job. The thing with the Rams though is that people say, "Oh, they kind of had a basic draft, or they kind of had a B, like you said." But
Yeah,
then you see them on the field in a couple months, and then you're like, "Oh crap! Actually, that you might have raised that grade because they do well." So I've been learning some stuff, obviously, with Jim Harbaugh now in charge. By the way, Gilbert, and one of those we kind of locked eyes when we were sitting there, and I kind of looked at him. He was looking at me, and I was kind of like, "Oh, like should I just keep on locking eyes with him, or should I like let go?" And I'm like, "Oh no, he's in my soul already. I don't think I can." Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, "Damn." But Jim was right. He's like, "Look, we can draft. You can you can find hidden gems. You can do this. You can do that. They can call them hidden gems, but it's the way you coach them that's going to matter." And that's exactly what the Rams do. The Rams coach their guys up. They do a great job. They have, like I said, great coaching. So I just think that when it comes to the Rams draft, I think they did well. And now it's all about coaching these guys. So, and I know that's obviously like easy to say, like, oh, all you need to do is coach them up. Yeah, but I mean, the Rams have proven that they have great coaches there. And I actually talked to some people that the defensive coordinator is Shula, right?
yeah, Chris Shula.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I talked to somebody who like kind of knows Shula and everything. They're like, dude, that guy's gonna do a great job there. So
Mm.
so yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what that's like. By the way, Eric Williams was there on appreciated Delbert. Yeah, you don't want to stunt any of these kids' growth or anything like that. So that's why I'm saying like you need to just let the kid be himself. And that's why like in a sense, like when like let's just put it as like LeBron. When LeBron came to the Lakers, everybody's like, well, Kobe would have, and it's like, no, like LeBron's his own guy. You kind of gotta do something different. You can't just I mean it's easy to say Kobe would have not done that. Like Kobe wouldn't have been whining, or Kobe wouldn't have said it just basketball. Like I get that, but at the same time, you kind of got to let these guys be themselves. So don't stunt the youth. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a great job by the Rams. Obviously, like I said, time will tell, but the Rams have great
What did you
coaches
think
and
about
they have
what did you think about the
systems.
Blake Corum pick? And I'm
I didn't
guessing
think
you
he
weren't
was going to go to
surprised
the
about him.
Chargers.
I was gonna say you weren't surprised about that.
I thought after they signed J.K. Dobbins, I thought the Chargers will probably look at this and be like, look, we have two. And today, JK already said he's like the injuries are over with. Like I'm gonna be healthy here. I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right. You wouldn't have
That's
liked his first answer though. But
I don't
they
know.
asked
You
him
can't
what
mess around.
they asked him what made him decide to sign with the Chargers. He said Jesus. I don't know if he meant Jesus or Jesus Christ. But
He has a friend named Jesus.
yeah, exactly. But what were you asking me? Oh yeah.
Blake
Wait,
Corum
no.
selection.
Oh yeah.
And then
So
you said
I just
not
thought
to the
that.
Chargers because J.K. Dobbins and
Yeah,
Gus
I
Edwards.
thought with J.K. Dobbins, I thought they might take a steal, but everything I keep on hearing from that kid out of the Viddle guy, that running back, everybody keeps on
Yeah.
saying that was the steal of the draft because
Huh.
they're saying that kid's quick, he's athletic, and I was kind of watching him, and he looks like he has a second burst. Once he hits a second level, it seems like he really takes off, and but obviously he was at Troy, so it's going to be a little bit different. But he looks like he may be pretty good for them. But I just thought with all the needs that they have at number 3 or in the third round, I thought that was too high for Blake Corum. So, and I
Really?
remember like I
Hmm.
put Chargers are now on the clock, and all these fans are like, it better not be Blake Corum. It better not be Blake Corum. And and when it wasn't, I was like, okay, there you go, Charger fans. Y'all can breathe. But
He
yeah,
stood out
dude,
to me during those playoff games. I know I don't watch college football regularly, but I was like,
Blake
he's a playmaker.
Blake was the catalyst for both of those for the Alabama game. And well, I thought the Alabama game was more about their defense in a sense, and then like them going for it on
Yeah.
that fourth down
On
in
the
their
last
back.
drive,
And
yeah.
yeah, I thought that would make Brandon Staley proud. But they went for it. And honestly, I'm not even knocking it because I'm actually all for the going for it on fourth down, to be honest. So, well, not all for it. Like it's obviously has to be in you can't be. Yeah, okay. That was another thing, Delbert. Thank you for that one. I actually thought that Delbert said that his one disappointment was the lack of linebackers. So
They
I actually
got
agree with
one
him.
though, but a little late in the fifth round, or actually,
I mean,
they
and
take
they
it.
can coach him up and everything, but I feel like linebackers and
Actually,
like you
no.
said,
I was thinking
Jackson.
the Chargers got one,
Oh,
Junior Colson, but
oh
maybe
yeah,
the
yeah,
Rams
yeah,
did. Yeah,
yeah. Junior Colson
yeah.
is yeah.
You're right, Dover. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, yeah, no, the linebacker position is something that they need, obviously, but like I said, it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward. But they have good coaching; they'll be able to mask some of those things. And then the only thing I'm interested in when it comes to them is, and Charger fans, we're about to jump into Chargers, so everybody get your thoughts in what you guys thought about the Chargers side of things. The Tre'Davious White signing to me was interesting, and I know you guys touched on that, obviously on House of Horns, but I actually thought that was interesting because I mean that's really that's low risk, high reward in my opinion. I know that they're gonna pay him like what 9, but at the
Yeah,
same, I think it's right around there, right?
yeah.
10. Okay,
10 if
10,
he,
9,
it's a
10.
bunch of
So
incentives. He has to play and things like that. But yeah, a
so
little pricey.
I actually didn't mind that because he could, if he stays healthy. I mean, when he was healthy with the Bills, he was actually one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. The only thing is that they kind of have had a drop off when it comes to when he's gotten hurt, they have a drop off. So I think he'll fit right in with the Rams. It's just can he stay healthy, especially with all the injuries that he's had. And then obviously on the other side, they got Darius Williams back from
Yeah.
the Jacksonville Jaguars. So
Yeah.
I actually like that one. They weren't willing to pay him all that money when he left to Jacksonville, and now they get him back for a lot cheaper than they would have signed him. So obviously it's a different system than when he was in, but I still think that he is going to thrive. So I actually think that this secondary and the defensive line are in a good position.
They drafted a DB2 out of Miami, Cameron Kitchens, to go with Cam
Mhm.
Curl, two Cams with a K. So that secondary, they put a lot of investment in it. So we'll see how they do. But I kept telling Victor, I'm like, Aaron Donald like mask a lot of issues. Like he like he doesn't let you. He puts the pressure, so you don't have to protect as long. Now with Aaron Donald, maybe you don't get us home as frequently, so you needed that secondary to be good and solid. And I think they've done that on paper, at least for the most part.